Hi, I am Raj Kapadia, developer advocate of AppyPie.
Hello friends, welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. And you must be thinking that why I have opened this ARXIV website, which is well known to download research papers. So recently I've got an idea to build an app where you can directly talk to the papers of different topics from this ARXIV website. So let's see how it works. And I have come across a paper called Style TTS 2, that is text to speech conversion. And let's say I want to just for demonstration download one paper, and when I hit search it will go to ARXIV website and download available papers on this topic. And once it is downloaded, it will convert it into vectors, and once the vectors are created, we can talk to the downloaded paper in this chat, like can you explain what is style TTS? Yeah, so we got the answer, and I think it is fairly good. So if you want to learn how to build this amazing application, then watch the video till the end. I'll explain all the steps required to build this application. First, let's understand the flow. So ARXIV as Python package, and with the help of that Python package you can search papers. So what we will do is that we will build a user interface using Gradio, and on the first section of this application we will write a search query and number of papers that we want to download, and here there will be some reference indication of the ongoing steps. So from that interface we will take the prompt or query or the term that you want to search on ARXIV, and then number of papers, and with the help of that ARXIV Python package we will download the papers, then create index and store it into vector database. In order to create index or vectors, we will use sentence transformer. Okay, and in order to store our vectors we will use quadrant. In this tutorial I'm not going to explain more about the sentence transformer and vector store. So feel free to replace sentence transformer with OpenAI embeddings and quadrant with Fez or ChromaDB or Pinecone, any of your choices. Once the vector are created, then with the help of this another interface where we have this chat interface, user will write a query. We will have the query and chat history. With the help of that query and sentence transformer, we will convert that query into vector, search for similar vectors. So with the help of this similar vectors, we will create a prompt which will be our base prompt, then the context which is this similar vectors, chat history and recent query. With the help of these four things we will create a prompt, pass it to ChatGPT or GPT 3.5 or GPT-4, and then generate a response and then show it in this chat interface. Before we further move into the steps, I would like to show you that quadrant is very easy to use and I guess lightweight vector store. And what you can do is that once you have Docker installed on your system, you run first this command that will download the quadrant image, and then with the help of this command you will start the quadrant vector store, and then you can use it. And once you start this vector store, you can have the UI as well. If I refresh this, we will see this collection created with the previous action. Okay, and you can find the information about that as well. And I have found that quadrant is very convenient to use on my part, but you can choose any of the services. And in order to use OpenAI, you will need OpenAI API key, and you can download it from the OpenAI platform. Now let's look into the code section. So here in the code section, since I am using sentence transformer, I have downloaded the model and the related stuff to run the model. Now first let's look into the configuration. So I have this config.py. Here I have all the configuration. I am reading the environment file. I have my error message. Then I have my quadrant setting. So this is the quadrant URL when you run it on local. I'm creating a quadrant client. Then I'm creating a collection name. So whenever you run this application, it will create one collection like this. Then I have embedding setting. So I'm using from LangChain embeddings, I'm using Hugging Face embeddings, and I'm using all MPNet base v2. If you don't have this on your machine, when you provide this, it will download it as well. And since I have GPU on my machine, I'm using CUDA. And finally I have this directory structure arxiv PDFs, in which the papers will be downloaded into the directory that is created by the query of the search term. And next we have this index.py, which creates vectors on the vector store. So this is pretty straightforward. I'm loading a directory, and in order to read the PDF, I'm using this PyPDF2 loader from LangChain, and then we'll load the documents, then split the documents into small parts of the chunks, and then use quadrant from documents, provide the documents, embedding function, collection name, and quadrant URL, and it will create the collection and insert vectors into that. Then I have this conversation py. Here I'm doing lots of stuff. First, I'm creating OpenAI model for communication through LangChain. Then I have this create conversation function, which receives the chat history. The last will be the current question. I'm creating VectorDB from LangChain. I have this system prompt, which is you are a helpful assistant, and then I'm formatting the context, chat history, and current question. What I'm doing here is condense user query. So it happens that many times user say a follow, or user asks a follow-up question which is not correctly formatted. So with the help of this function, I'm creating a standalone question. Once it is done, I'm using similarity search on the VectorDB to find the similar documents. Then I'm formatting the chat history and context. So here we will receive a list chat history from the front end, and then since the last entry in this chat history will have two elements. One is current query and second none, because the response is not generated. So I'm discarding the last element and then format the chat history as human and AI. Then also I'm formatting the context, just appending the context in a new line. So with the help of these four elements, condensed query, similarity search, formatting chat history, and formatting context, I'm creating a prompt. And once the prompt is created, I get a response. I just clean the response and append it into chat history. So the last part is this Gradio UI. So here we have used tabbed interface, in which the first part is the part where we download the paper and create the index, and the second part is where we create a chat interface with the help of chatbot, text box, and clear button. If you want to learn more about these elements of Gradio, you can watch one of my lectures on Gradio and creating tabbed interface as well. So yeah, I guess these are the things. We have configuration, then we have a function or file to create indexes, then we have something to handle the conversation, and I guess I forgot to show this ARXIV call, where I have created a function which uses this package and download the papers based on the search terms and number of papers that we want to download. And finally, I guess I have this run.py. Here we get the Gradio UI and convert that into a fast API app, and then run the application using so let me show you this as well. So here this is system message that you are helpful assistant, then this is context, so this much amount is context, I guess, and here the chat history where human said something like this and AI has replied with this thing, and finally human has asked this question and AI will generate a response. And in order to run this application, you will need to run this command, uvcon and the file name, then colon app, and then reload in case you are making changes to the application and you want to see the changes right away. So in this way you can build this application, and you can talk to the downloaded papers as well. I'll say thank you for I guess the application is not running. So I guess this is it from my part of the video, and the code used here is available on my GitHub, and the link for it is in the description. In case you like my work, please consider subscribing to my channel. That helps. Thank you for watching. Peace.